Let's get ready to saber! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lightsaber Review Night. Your commentator for this evening will be Gray Paladin, coming all the way from Crimson Dawn. Our first contender is the Antares, standing tall at 11.5 inches, with a waist of 1.3 inches, and a blade depth of 2 inches from the lowest point of the emitter. Resonance chamber is coming in at 1 inch, and it's weighing in at 12.5 ounces. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Crimson Dawn Antares. Hey Saber fans, this is Gray Paladin, and I have a review of the Crimson Dawn Antares. We already got our commentated stats and dimensions. Let's get into the close-ups. Starting with the pommel here, it has like an Obi-Wan Kenobi Phantom Menace style pommel with these nubs that come out. And we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going all the way around. And then we have a nice smooth section here. This is black anodized. Then we have a nice smooth section of aluminum. And then we get into the grip section where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 rings going around, kind of similar to, again, Luke Skywalker or Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsabers, which feels really good in the hand. You're not going to lose the saber when you're gripping it properly. Then we get into a 12mm illuminated AV switch with a recharge port. And now what I like here on the back side, the rings around the grip section continue, but they gradually decrease in length as they get to the end of the recharge port. This is a nice aesthetic look to it, I think. And it looks great and it feels great too. One of my favorite portions of the saber is the choke section. Here on the bottom we have a nice, very smooth black anodized choke, and then above that we have another section. So both of those feel really good in the hands. Now the emitter. This has a slanted emitter, as you can see, real smooth and sleek. When you feel that across the hands, it's sure it could do a nice little scratch, but this is not going to cut you in any way, shape, or form. This is actually a very comfortable saber to hold, and I enjoy this saber very much. It's nice to swing around, especially at this choke point here. That's going to be your point of balance where you want to spin and do some flow work. But then once you grab that with your lower hand, you're going to have plenty of grip there with these rings. One thing I really do like about this saber in the emitter is these 2 slits here, one on each side. And those are going to be your emitter windows. And those the light shines through very nicely there. Now, this particular saber did come with 2 thumb screws. I got a copper color as well as a black. I only utilize 1 thumb screw for 2 reasons. One, since you've got a 2-inch blade depth here, the saber, the blade's already going to be secured in this hilt very well. And then only having the thumb screw on the front side, once you tighten that, it's going to press it against the taller section, which is probably going to get you closer to a 3-inch blade depth. So it's going to secure your blade in place very well. So you don't need the thumb screw on the back side. It's just going to, one, each of the thumb screws will stick out too far, and 2, you're going to be trying to balance the blade in the center when the best thing to do is to press it against the longest portion of the hilt, which will be here. So I only use a thumb screw on the front side. Second reason is, without the thumb screw on the back side, this is another window in your emitter for light to shine through, which I think looks very nice. The side slits and then the hole in the back. All in all, I think this is Crimson Dawn's nicest, most attractive hilt in my opinion, and it feels very good to hold. And when you start swinging it, you don't want to put it down. This is a very nice saber. And I especially enjoy the thumb screws because I don't have to worry about pulling out a wrench to remove or tighten my blades. Putting in my little stubby here so I can swing freely, but you can also see the color. So just like that, less than 2 seconds, I got my blade in and tightened it down with that thumb screw. I like the copper color because it adds a little accent tone in there over the black, which is going to match everything else that's there. So to boot up your saber, just press and hold for about 4 seconds and it'll say power on. I've already done that. And then to power on, just tap your AV switch once. This is the RGBX Eco Smooth Swing soundboard. So it does have smooth swing, but it does have its limitations. So that right there, if you notice, it sounds like a clash or a blaster deflection, and that's really a misfire. And I find that common with all of these RGBX boards. And again, it is a budget lightsaber, so you do get what you pay for. So you could be swinging, but if you rotate the saber just right, you're going to get that misfire, like there. And since it is also a budget saber, it can only process one soundtrack at a time. So if you're swinging, and then let's say do a blaster, notice you have that pause before your swing begins again. It has to complete the blaster sound before it can process the next sound, which would be the swing. Same thing with clash. Now with the clash sensitivity isn't very good, so you have to really slam this hard from my experience. Notice again, it processed the clash sound and it takes a second to catch up with the swings again. You can change your colors by press and holding the AV switch for 2 blinks. Then it will cycle through your colors. Now as it cycles through the colors, to set your color, just tap the button and now you're set in that color. However, each font is not specific to a color, so whatever color you set it to, it will remain that when you switch fonts or power it down and turn it back on. It does not remember different colors for each font. It does come with 9 sound fonts. Now with each font, if you press and hold for 3 blinks, you will get what they call force, but you'll get a quote that's specific to that font.
So uncivilized. I have the high ground! Hello there.
And then to power off, just press and hold for 4 blinks. If you want to change sound fonts, just press and hold your AV switch for 4 blinks and it will cycle to the next sound font. We're going to get to our red color here, so we can match our Count Dooku. Overall, I think it's a nice hilt, but it does have its limitations, more so with the board, not necessarily the hilt itself. What I do like about the saber is that it comes loaded with 9 different sound fonts, and they're all quality sound fonts. Now, if you want to change the volume of your sound, just quick tap twice. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold for 2 blinks.
Pulse.
And you can change your blade effects.
Unstable. Stable.
1 blink.
No sound.
Will change your sound. So that's no sound, so now I'm in mute. And again, you've got everything working without the sound going on.
Not sound.
The This is loud sound. Now I find that the loud sound really, you start to hear a lack of a reduce in quality. So I prefer to have mine on the low sound
Softer sound.
because it just sounds better. You get more of the different tones from the speaker. Now I'm not going to do this now, but while the saber's off, if you press and hold for 3 blinks, you can cycle through all the different the music tracks that come with the saber. Blaster deflections, 1 tap. Of course, clash, you just hit it. Color change is 2 blinks. Sound quote is 3 blinks. And power off is 4 blinks.
This is just the beginning.
Now I find that a flaw with this board, when you start hearing that misfire when I was spinning around, I discovered that when you twist it quickly, it does a clash. So if you're rotating it in your hand and it does that, you're going to get that misfire. And this is true of all of the fonts on the saber. So personally, I have to say that I think if you're on a budget, the Eco smoothswing board is nice. It's better than just having a standard lightsaber. But I think there are better options out there. Now, I ordered the V2 Proffie core. It's on back order right now, but when that comes in, I'm going to put it in this saber because I really like this hilt a lot. It looks good, it feels good, it's just nice and fun to swing around. So I feel like this hilt is deserving of a more responsive and a nicer, more customizable board on the inside. So I'm going to do that with the Proffie core once that back order is fulfilled. So that's pretty much it on the Antares. Again, I think this is the best hilt that they offer, and I'm very glad that I have it. And I enjoy this saber very much. And if you're fortunate enough to get your hands on one, hopefully you'll enjoy it just as much too. I hope this review was helpful to you. Let me know in the comments down below. I always appreciate your thumbs up and your likes. And look for an update on this once my Proffie V2 core comes in, because it's going into this hilt, and I'll be rocking and rolling and having even more fun. I'll do another video with all of the sound fonts in a demo, and perhaps I'll dress up for that one. Who knows? We'll see. But I'll demo all 9 of those sound fonts and their features in another video. So thank you very much for watching, and may the Force be with you.